Your moment has arrived. Lift your head up, stand up tall. No longer can you just survive. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power move. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power move. You are winning, it's just the beginning. Now is your time. Stay focused, keep your chin up. You gotta keep a made up mind. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power move. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to
All
make
right.
your power move. It's time to make your power move. It's time to make some power move. Get up.
Woo! Welcome, everybody. Come on in the room. Happy Monday, January the 27th. We're excited to be here in the room tonight. Welcome to Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. My name is Mone't S. Horton, and I am the visionary and host. Of course, we are here together with our amazing co-host, Lady T. Tiara Parker. Say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Look, T, I'm on here so excited. Look, we're still celebrating the 16th, our our third year anniversary.
Oh my goodness.
I said, wait a minute. Yes. But y'all,
Oh shoot.
you have to take a moment and definitely just laugh. I said, yes, we are still here. We even still got our wonderful Dr. Charles S. Waters. Come on, Bishop. You are still with us with the year
Yes.
of power. I'm laughing at this. Listen, we was jumping in and flowing in, and he's still with us,
Yes,
backing
Lord.
us up tonight. Look at welcome in, y'all. Y'all know we love a good laugh. We're excited to be here. I know I am excited to be here, and
Yes.
just definitely blessed. We are pushing through. We are when we show up, we go up.
Mhm.
And I am just honored to be here today, and grateful for every blessing, another opportunity to have life and that more abundantly. And we really want to just welcome you all in to say hi to us. Come on in the room. Great evening, Apostle Catherine T. Parker. We see you out there. Everybody, as you're coming in, take a moment to click and share. Click and share. You might be on Facebook. You might be on YouTube. Let us know that you can hear us loud and clearly. We're on multiple streaming live on multiple platforms tonight. And so we want you to take a moment and click and share. Because sharing is caring. So much has and is taking place in our world tonight. And so I really, not tonight, but just period, right? Every day, so much is taking place. And tonight we really just want to come in and keep the flow going. Keep the flow going. Tonight our guest is, we know who the guest is, none other than our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, right? He is here tonight. Look, that's the first guest that we look. We having a whole comedy show tonight, Lady T.
Girl, because I was like, wait, she got a surprise?
You like what? Now I know Monet keeps a couple things up her sleeve.
Oh, girl.
Now, what is up her sleeves tonight? But tonight, I really want to. I was thinking today, and as I was thinking, again, welcome everyone who's coming in the room. um, as I was thinking today, uh, a word, you know how I do with acronyms, and it was just flowing as we were preparing to send out the Move newsletter for the new year. And I also, let me just pause right now. Everybody who's coming in the room, we have the Move newsletter. If you are not, if you have not subscribed to the newsletter, I'm going to take a moment and make sure I pull over the link for you to subscribe and subscribe. And I'm going to drop it in. Hopefully everybody can see when I drop it in. But you want to go ahead and subscribe to our Move newsletter. Today we launched a new format and I'm excited about it. I don't know about you.
I am.
Lady T is behind the scenes and she supports me in pushing out the different visions that God has given me. And the Move newsletter was birthed now, going on 2 years or a year and a half?
Yeah, we're going on year 2. We're going on
Yeah.
year 2 coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
year 2 will be in like May.
it will, because we started in May. And so everybody take a moment and go ahead and subscribe. It is a e-newsletter that comes out bi-weekly. And we just have some amazing things that's coming up. It's MOVE stands for Maximum Opportunity, Visionary Experience. There's so many other words: visionary experiences, expertise, all of that, entertainment. And so we have a lot. I don't even think I actually put MOVE out there, like the actual what it stands for,
Yeah.
but we're just moving but moving intentionally. And so in that, I want you all to take a moment and go ahead and subscribe so you'll stay tuned and abreast of all the things that's taking place. We are also looking for, as we're elevating and moving up higher and higher and higher, we're also looking for sponsors. And those, we have had some individuals to ask us about how they can sponsor, how can they support Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves, because we are definitely moving and shifting. And so we want to invite you to be a part. The axe is not for everyone, but the word says, I was getting ready to say, I believe the word says, but no, the word does say that you have not because you ask not. And so, listen, I hear everybody else putting out their acts. And so we are opening up and asking and welcoming and inviting individuals to come in and support us, because this is definitely fertile ground. Individuals have been supported by Sisters Talk Power Moves. And again, we are excited about what's happening, but what's also going to happen, what's about to happen. And so with that, I was thinking again today, Lady T, about the word shift.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Shift. Because a lot of times people, today was a day of training for me, and just flowing on through the day. And as I was even teaching today, sometimes individuals are hesitant about shifting, about moving, when it is something that is familiar to them, if it's something new, if it's something fresh. And I'm just thinking about myself. I remember I was in a place of, okay, Lord, if you don't like download every step to me, I don't know if I can, make that move. But I had to shift. And so I'm going to put that on the screen here, that we are talking about shifting tonight. When you think about shifting, what comes to your mind, Lady T?
When I think about shifting, I think about the undeniable move of God. And I think a lot of times we find ourselves in situations where the Lord is shifting, but we are going against the shift. And so
Wow.
it causes us unnecessary stress, strife, tribulation. If we go with the shift, if we move with the shift, we would find that we're just in the flow of things. But we want to go against the grain because it doesn't look like how we feel like it should look. It doesn't feel like how we feel it should look. And it's not necessarily our desire. So when it doesn't match up to those things, we're like, no thanks. But what we fail to realize is that the shift is going to happen regardless. So it's either you get on board now or you get swallowed by the whale. And then you still end up where you were supposed to be in the first place.
Yeah. You said that that's good. And you said that we tend to go up against it, like up against the shift. Why do you think, and y'all come on in the room. We're talking about shifting tonight. Let's shift. And I want to download and share with you what I wrote down in my notes. But we're just having a real an open dialogue about shifting. And so why do you think that we shift? I know what comes to my mind. I mean, we go against shifting or moving when God is calling us to, or when life is calling us to, requiring us to pivot. Fear.
I think fear is definitely one.
Doubt. And we're not giving power to these things. Again, great evening, everyone. Hey. Lady Lisa, welcome. We're not giving power to these things, but we want us to speak transparently tonight about those things, because you got to identify what you need to pray for or, against. Absolutely. All of those things. And so what are some other things that come to your mind?
So what immediately came to my mind was that we don't trust God enough that his plan is better and greater than our own. Because sometimes we're walking around being our own little gods.
Yeah.
And
our own.
Yeah.
Instead of representing him.
Yes.
Right.
And then I feel like too, sometimes our faith isn't big enough.
Yeah. Our faith is not big enough. Ooh. So, and I see you all in the comments. Lady Flanagan said, people truly believe that they have time. Yes. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about the time factor.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
An Apostle says, not expecting it suddenly. And that goes to what you said about faith, right? And so, but let's talk about this time factor.
Oh, goodness.
I remember this thinking, and I talked about this in my training earlier today. Like, first of all, time is of the essence. Just in this last week, and we some people don't like to talk about death and everything, but it's inevitable for all of us. We don't want to talk about it, but we got to prepare for it. But life is not promised. I just heard about somebody else today within the last hour. And I'm like, what? And so this time factor, we don't have all the time in the world to do, you know what I'm saying? To belabor the time and not to obey walk in the obedience to do the thing that God has placed in our hand to do.
Yep.
If you think that you have so much time, please, no, right? God redeems the time, all of those times. He graciously gives us all of that. But there's also a timing for everything.
Yes.
That under the sun.
But
one of the pastors and apostles was speaking last night at a event that I was at, and she said that some people have they still have time to move in, but then some of you have missed out on your time and your opportunity.
It's arrogant of us to think that we have time. It's an arrogance of us to think that we have time and that the time will always be there. Because the reality is that if the Lord gave you something, he gave it to you for a reason.
Yeah.
And with the time thing, I just have to say this. It's interesting to me that for us, we are arrogant about us having the time. We have all this time in our mind, right? However, when we say a prayer, when we're believing God for something, we want it suddenly. We want it tomorrow. We're asking, Lord, why not yet? Why not me, Lord? I'm watching everyone else be blessed, but why not me? When is it going to be my turn? These are the things that we say and the prayers that we pray. But the Lord gives you one thing. And he's asking, when are you going to move in the thing that I gave you? When are you going to birth that baby out?
Yeah. Yeah. When are you going to do it? And I want to speak to the atmosphere. I want to speak to the people who are out in the airways and the byways and locally and globally. I'm speaking it out. When are you going to birth out that thing? When are you going to stop minimizing what God has placed inside of you? And know that he stamped you. As I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. That he stamped you with something special. He's placed something special inside of you, and can't nobody can do it like you.
Yep.
There's a special, we talked about the year of power, the last show, right?
Yes.
And there is a power inside of you that you must tap into. And this is your time to shift.
2025 has been a shift already.
Period.
And if you're in the spirit, the way that I'm in the spirit,
hello,
you felt it. You feel it. There has been a shift since 2025 started. So when we were talking about the year of power last week, I feel like it resonated with me so much because I feel like that is a word specifically for now. Like the things that you have inside of you, all of the seeds that the Lord has planted, the babies that you are supposed to birth, the things that the Lord is waiting on you for. 2025 is the year to do it.
Crack it open. Let's go.
Because 2025 there is a shift happening. So either you're going to flow with it or you're going to go against it. And I'd rather be in the flow.
I'd rather be in the flow. I'd rather be in the flow. And so you said that a shift is already taking place. No doubt. Indeed, a shift is already taking place. But tonight, I really want to admonish. It's just on my heart to admonish those who have not caught up with it. Still trying to
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Like it is really that time to move with a sense of urgency, not procrastination, all of those things. I think sometimes I was just thinking about myself, you know, sometimes we put more you know, we're helping, especially if you're someone who supports other people, you're helping others to birth, but you cannot not birth what God has given you or put it on the back burner with that same thrill, that same tenacity, that same resilience, that same motivation, application, all of that that you are fueled to help others. You have to direct that same energy, that same power towards what's in you.
Absolutely. And I think we have to be very wise and discerning, because everything is not a God thing.
That part.
It can be a good thing. That's true. And it can bear fruit. That's also true. But if it's a God thing, the fruit will be perpetual.
Come on, perpetual.
Like
It's over.
when it's a yes, when it's a good thing, you can get paid, you can be satisfied for the moment. But when it's a God thing, it's an overflow and abundance of whatever the fruit is, whether it's payment, whether it's exposure, whether it's having your names in rooms that you have yet to enter, whatever God designs for your fruit to be, that thing will be perpetual and residual. You will have opportunities coming from that God thing that you would never have thought of.
Come on. It's always going to be a flow.
Always.
And one thing that I've declared and decreed over my life is that I am going to stay in the flow in every aspect. You all see it behind me, the flow is we fearlessly level up, overcome, and win. But that's a mindset, that's a lifestyle, it's a way of being, it's a way of existing. In any and every aspect and way of my being. That is that's where I want to stay, in the flow. When I think about Apostle was praying about endurance tonight, right? That I want to, when I think about giving up, when I think about, all right, Lord, I see, no, help me, Lord, to stay in the flow. Help me to continue to level up, to lean in to life, no matter what it looks like. And so herein lies the shift. So the S, right? So today, let's talk about this shift. And I wrote, as I was sharing with Lady T, is that as we were going and I was preparing for today, God gave me this acronym for shift. And the S is for say yes. When you're used to saying no, sometimes you're on auto drive. And I believe that this is a time, in order for us to shift, God wants us to get off autopilot.
That part.
Because if you say no, or you don't do, because when we don't, sometimes we're saying, yes, I'm saying yes, so I'm doing it. But when you don't put action behind, right, or obedience behind the instruction, if you don't back it up with that, then actually you're saying no.
That part.
And so in order to shift, you have to say yes.
And a lot of times it's not going to be the things that feel good. It's not going to be the things that you would normally want to do. Because if it's a God thing, he's going to stretch you. He's going to expand you. He's going to take you out of your comfort zone. So if you're feeling hesitant, or you're saying like, Lord, this isn't really me, then it's probably a God thing, because he's telling you that I see it in you and this is where you're supposed to be. And when you say yes to God, I think sometimes we forget that it's a continuous yes, not just a one-time thing.
Wow. Listen.
because because it's levels to this. Like
It really is. It always
we gotta remember.
You know what it puts me in the mind of, Lady C? Is
What?
the daily bread.
Mm.
The daily bread. When
Yes.
when they pass out the daily bread.
Yes.
That's how my yes has to be. Like every day.
Yes.
Like I'm saying, sometimes it's not even the day, it's by the moment.
You better say that thing. Because the thing about it is, I was just talking to my sister about this. Like, depending on the day determines, if we're being honest with ourselves, the ratio of spirit and flesh that we are walking in the earth with. Some days it's a 60-40 day. And your spirit is in control and has the will. Okay. But some days when it's been a hard week and it's on a Friday and you've been through some things that week, it could be looking more like 20-80.
Come on.
So we need that daily bread. And that's just the human part of us. But we need to be aware and acknowledge that it needs to be, like you said, a moment by moment, a day to day daily bread.
Daily, moment by moment. I need it in the moment. Okay.
Listen,
and so in order for you to do that,
every minute, every hour, Jesus help me.
Like really. And so in order to do that, you have to stay present. You have to stay alert.
Yes.
You can't fall into your feelings and get stuck there, because it's easy for us to do that.
Yeah.
It's easy to stay in your feelings. It's easy for, yes, we're human, right? Yes. But the Lord, if he's residing within you, I think sometimes we put, we might have said that last show, we put so much power or strength or give power to the natural man, but tap into your spirit man.
Yes.
And that's where your strength lies. And so for the shift, and if you need a shift right now, if you need something to move in your life, you can go ahead and write shift in the comments. Come on, shift. Whatever you need to be shifted, it can be shifted right now. But the S again is to say yes. Say yes. There's somebody out there tonight. You know that you need to say yes. Maybe you just need to say yes to you. In order for that shift, in order for you to experience and feel and to witness the change in your life, you have to say yes. Maybe saying yes to you and no to someone else. Yes. Maybe saying yes to that project that you feel that you don't you're not qualified for, right? But God qualifies you already. And it's something in you that the people need. So don't look at the paperwork. Look at the power. It might not be in the paperwork, but it's in the power that he's placed within you. And so lean into that. The H that I had is, these are, phrases. Have a plan. So once you say yes, you have a plan. We can't say it enough. Have a plan. But the plan that you're going to have is not your own plan. It's not a plan that you're working up. If you're saying yes and are falling in line with the Father, then guess what? He's going to give you instructions. But you have to be still long enough to get the downloads for the plan. What is the plan? Do you need help with the plan? Right? Do you need help with the plan? I remember, I think I told this story before. I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm out here now. What's the next step? It wasn't until I actually positioned and postured myself and I made room that, and it's not till I stepped into a thing that he start revealing the next step.
That
so
part.
in your shift, you have to say yes first, and then the next step may be revealed. So have a plan. Get you a nice sheet of paper, write it out. The word says, write the vision, make it plain. When you see it, then you can run with it. But it's not only for you. Who's connected with you? We talked about some shows before. Check your circle. You might need to release some people. You know, but that plan. Have you experienced, I know you talked about the shift that's already taken place. How does, have you experienced having to put a plan into place, you know, now? You probably be like, Lady Mo, you asking me a lot of questions tonight.
No, but it's true. It's true though. The one thing I've learned is that if it's not written down, it's not real. And I'm not trying to be rude or harsh, but the word says, write the vision and make it plain. And I say that because I have experienced writing it down. I had to go back and look through all of the things that I desired, like for my business for the previous year. And when I saw that I was able to check off, like I didn't even realize that I was able to check off the things that I had written down.
That's good.
And then I knew that going into this year, I had to write it down. I have to write down my vision for the year. If I want it to come to pass, if I'm trusting God with it. It gives me something to pray over. It gives me something to focus on. It reminds me of my why when I'm stressed or I'm feeling like, Lord, is this really for me? Like, are you sure this is where you have me? Like, because we all have those moments, like, you talk to God, like, he's your friend. Like, I'm not so sure anymore. I'm starting to doubt. Like, when you have those real moments, it gives you something concrete to look back on and something in the moment to work toward. So that's what having a plan does for me. Like, it gives me something to actually concretely look at, pray over, believe God for.
That's good. And what you're saying, in terms of planning, I have a book that that I have, like, everything that, God has given me. And for me, of course, because I'm a visionary and a creator and my mind is always going, that's why I have to take it, get it out, write it, type it, speak it into my phone, do something to get it out of me, so that when I see it, it empowers me. But the thing about it is, oh my goodness, I wrote it down, but what came to my mind just now is that the enemy wants you to be distracted from even what you've written down. That's why you got to keep it in front of you.
Yes.
You got to keep your vision in front of you. And the thing in the shifting and the power moves and all of that, distractions are inevitable. We can't eliminate them, but what we can do is minimize them.
Yes.
Right? And so in order for us to maximize our results and really execute at an elevated level, at a massive level than what, like you'd say, I looked at the track record last year and I could cross some things off. And me and you even talked about that. You said, oh my goodness, I went back and this is a thing that I said I would do a long time ago. And in order for us to do that, we have to minimize the distractions.
Yes.
Literally minimize the clutter in our lives, in our physical environment,
Yep.
in your mental space, all of those things. And so when I think about my plan, like what God, he does for me is, even though he's consistently like giving me things, he's like, daughter, don't forget that thing.
Yes.
Don't forget that thing. I remember I went to go see my grandmother on my father's side the other week, and she's my only grandmother that is still alive and well, and Grandma Marjorie. And she was the first person, so I had shared with her, oh my goodness, T, you know what I'm talking about. It was 2022, so what's that, 4 years?
Well, 3.
Right? 3 years.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yep.
When I went to do a project with her, brought her in to do the concept, you know, in the kitchen with her. And I'm sitting at the table, and you know, we catching up, chopping it up. And she said, yeah, what happened to the content? She didn't say content, y'all. But she said, what happened to the finalized project that we was working on together? Because we can make this, you know, some extra money. I mean, grandma ain't never talked like that. It's not that and she was feisty. And she said, yeah, because I've been waiting. Well, come on, let's get to it. I said, but you know what? When I looked at my phone, and I had already been working to edit some things, right? But so I had the unedited version with all of the clusters of the content in my phone. So I showed her. I said, Grandma, I said, well, listen to you. I had the producer show her something. So I showed her it from my phone. And she said, okay, well, come on, because I need to see this, you know. And lady, I could have laid out on the floor. I mean, it really meant something to me. And I had a witness there we were looking like, oh, she really like, let's get this. And I said, God, you just reminded me the time is of the essence. It's going back to the time factor. And it's not only impacting us when we don't do it in time, but it's impacting other people. You don't know what the idea God has given you when you connect other people to it, how it transforms their life, how it empowers them, how it motivates them, how it gives them another drive to live. Kingdom greetings, Sir General Dr. Charles S. Waters. You see, we still got you behind us. We were laughing like, wait a minute, lady, we in the flow. We still got you backing us up with the year of power tonight. But we welcome you on to the broadcast this evening. Kingdom greetings. And so in that moment, my grandmother gave me another feel like, lady, do you know it has been 3 years since you did the original taping? If you don't come on and move, you talking about this power move, put some power behind that. And so all that to say, the shift that we're talking about tonight, is not only for us. You have a responsibility to move. You have a responsibility to bust a whole move, because somebody is attached to that move.
Yes.
You might not feel like it. Do you know how many times I didn't feel like doing? But when I look back in retrospect, I see that someone else's life and their legacy was attached to my obedience. And
yes. Yes. That part.
And I want to tell you tonight, somebody's life and legacy is attached to your obedience. Will you move? Will you say yes? That's the S, right? And will you allow God to download that plan and the vision? We don't have to be over, spiritual about it, because he gives us the ideas. the desires within us.
Yep.
And it's our responsibility to carry it out. Yes, fasting and praying has its place, but as Bishop, who's on tonight, Dr. Horton says, he said, we don't have a spiritual problem, right? We have to really walk it out. We have to back it up with some action. And that leads us to the I, intentional action. We're not just jumping out here without a strategy. We're not just jumping out here haphazardly taking action, but we're making intentional moves.
Mm-hmm.
And then trusting that if we happen, because it is a faith walk, y'all. I've been out here taking faith, not walks, and I feel like I'm doing leaps.
I was about to say leaps, jumps,
bound, and so, but it's relative to your walking where you are, and so only you know. But it's time to take that intentional action. Don't just get up and just live, do things as they come.
Mm-hmm.
But with your plan, back it up with some intentionality, intentional action. You said you gotta have, goes back to, you gotta have a master plan.
Yes.
So yes, in my book, I have a book. I have so many things in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to now, like my grandmother, like I said, she put that fire behind me and said,
mm-hmm.
Granddaughter, it's that time. You don't have time. And what I was thinking about is that this is my last grandmother. She's up, in age. Mm-hmm. And I don't want her to close her eyes without seeing that fully manifest.
Yes, absolutely.
And so for everybody, let's go back up the shift with intentional action. And your F is for focus. I feel like we in class tonight, Lady C. Lady C, look, she gonna take her notes, okay?
Listen.
We have to focus. We have to stay, we have to keep our eyes literally on the prize. It's easy, y'all. I just talked about distractions. In my class earlier, I told them, I said, yes, they're inevitable. But what are you going to do? Do not look to the left. Don't look to the right. If one of your distractions is social media, like for me, I have 2 phones. I've literally silenced one. I cut off the silence. When I look at it, that's when I see the messages.
Mm-hmm.
So all the pings and all the things like that, I don't, because sometimes we can't even resist the need to go and answer it. I don't know about you, but it's like somebody needs, it's like, no, you need to
absolutely
focus on what's before you. And so focus, follow one's course until successful. I learned this years ago in business. One of the mentors gave us this acronym, focus, follow one's course until successful. That means that you have to be laser focused on what's ahead. Sometimes we talk about life. Yes, you look to the left, look to the right. It can look real glitzy over here. Got somebody over here. But guess what? You don't know the true story behind the scenes. So you have to stay focused on what God has given you. Hey, Sunshine, welcome, 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 and welcome.
It's so important that with this focus, I feel like this is an amazing acronym because sometimes we are our own distractions. We sometimes get so caught up in where we feel like we aren't in comparison to where somebody else is. And that is, it's defeatist, because the reality is that if you're doing everything God is telling you to do, then you will reap the benefits of every seed that you are sowing. You do not know how long she had to pray for what she has. You do not know what she had to go through for what you don't know the toil. You don't know the struggle. You have no idea what her backstory looked like in order for her to have the blessings that it appears that she has now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to, what is it says? I think I heard someone say, sometimes we're looking at people's stories. You might be in one chapter. You think, you're looking at one chapter and you think it's chapter 5 or whatever. They might be in 10 or, there might be the preface of their book, whatever. Right.
It's the truth. Yep.
But you have to be so laser focused on your story. What is the story that your life is as we're shifting? What is the story that your life will tell? What is the legacy that you will leave? And not only leave, what is the legacy that you're living? Because I was talking to one of my what do I call it? One of my my personal board of directors members the other day, because this past year, what I have been doing is putting my own personal board of directors together in health and wealth in every aspect of my life. And so, I was talking, to them, and we were talking, numbers and all of that. And I said, we're talking about what you want to leave your family, but I want to experience some of this stuff, what I'm going to have access to now, my living legacy, and putting that together. And so I think it's all important. Wherever you are today, it's time for you to shift. It's time for you to literally move. And for some of you, it's that time. Some of you might need to right now, in the place that you're in, even those things are shifting in the inside, you may need to physically shift. You may need to move from one room to the next. You might need to do a turnaround. Do a turnaround to symbolize that something is moving and something is changing in your life. Because guess what? If nothing changes, nothing changes. But you have a window of opportunity right now to make the move. And I want to encourage you today that is that time. And so we're going through this acronym. The S is for, just to give you a recap, for say yes. The H is to have a plan, right? You've said no long enough, but it's time for you to say yes to you. And have that plan. The I is for intentional action, taking intentional action. The F is to focus, follow one's course until successful. And then your T is to turn your fear into faith. Go for it. Take the leap. Go. Go for it now. That's what I wrote. Go for it now. Okay. Shift now. Turn your fear into faith. Instead of that fear stopping you or, blocking you, allow it to be the catalyst that pushes you, propels you forward to a place of transformation and elevation. Again, you see me leaning in. It's funny. Every time I say it, I start leaning in. Literally, it's time for you to lean in. If you don't change, then guess what? You can't get mad when you look to the left and someone have manifested the vision that God had gave you. Because guess what? He's going to find a vessel.
That part. Let's be very clear.
You only listen. We only have one life, and He is going to use. He is going to get His message out to the world. And we're not only talking about in ministry, y'all. We're talking about in the marketplace. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness. We're talking about in the boardroom.
Mm-hmm.
Make the move. And now is your time. And so in my notes, I had now is for no matter what, the end, no matter what. No matter what, no excuses. Like, throw the excuses out. We talked about that daily bread earlier. Right? You might, that daily bread that they used to drop off, or you see, when you go different places, you might need to literally say yes, like frequently, every moment. Okay, yes, Lord. Mentally. It requires requires a shift in your perspective, a shift in your mindset.
And the interesting thing is that most people's fear isn't that they will succeed. The scariest thing is that God will bless you beyond your wildest dreams.
Come on. Come
Because
on.
it's one of the it's well how, what, why. It's not about you. It's not about you. If we take ourselves out of it
Yeah.
and
That's what I want
literally
us
lean on God,
with everything.
everything. The scariest thing is God will bless you, your business, your ministry beyond your wildest dreams.
But if you don't dream, what do you have to even compare? I mean,
Mm, mm, mm.
your wildest dream. Do you have wild dream? Like, not wild, like in the sense of wild, but like,
Mhm,
are you even dreaming? Are you
mhm.
even desiring anything? Or have you given up on the
And
idea to have more, to have
which
much, to have big?
see, but then that takes me to how big is your God? Because your miracles and your blessings and your dreams will only be as big as your God is. So how big is your God? Because my God is big, big. My my God is miraculous. Okay.
Yeah.
So how big is your God?
Yeah. So I don't know about you, but your
Look,
expectations, you have to elevate your
ex-
expectations. So I
listen,
know how big God, is. I can't even fathom, in my,
that part.
but he's done it over and over again, like the track record
Hmm.
though. And if he
Hmm.
did that, he could do that. Da, 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 da. But you got to put that expectation, on it,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and literally, um, go for it. Take the leap. Take the jump. I hope this is resonating with those who are out there listening tonight and viewing us tonight. We're talking about um, the shift. Let's shift. It's
Hmm.
time to move. You have a responsibility to move, not to be stuck, but to activate whatever is lying dormant in you,
Hmm.
you know. And it's that time, because it's not for you.
Hmm.
It's now, it's not just for you. And so it's time to turn your fear into faith and go for it. Start that podcast. Start that live. Just go live. Just go. Like shake up whatever's in you. Like I said, lying dormant. It's time to challenge yourself. I stepped out, challenged myself 3 years ago, and I'm still out here talking. God might give me something 3 minutes before, it. But I'm showing up, Jesus. I'm here because it's not about you. Now I pray whatever He gives me, it hits. But this is really hitting me and getting me out of my comfort zone. And my obedience has literally unlocked and unleashed and unloaded things within me. So what you think you see, guess what? There's more to be. There's even more. And so if you are one who you said, okay, I've stepped out on faith and I've done it and I've seen him move. Guess what? Then there's more. Keep going. Why would you want to stop now? Why would you want to stop now? Why? Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. There are people, there are lives that are waiting for you, that are waiting for me. But if we're not in position, they will not. I feel like I'm rhyming tonight, but they won't be free. They won't be free because all of them are not coming to the church house. All of them are not coming to all these other places, right? We have to be ready and we have to be in position. And the end again is for now. Now is for no matter what. The end is for no matter what. The O is for obey. No matter what, obey. Or I put obedience wins. No matter what, obedience wins. Let me put that out there so y'all can see that. Is that hitting? You get that, lady T?
I sure do, because obedience is the key to blessings. Obedience is what unlocks doors. And let's just be clear that delayed obedience is still disobedience. The Lord doesn't get to tell us to do something and then we do it on our time and then we feel like we're being obedient. Delayed obedience is still disobedience.
Yeah. And so, yeah, shift now. No matter what, obedience wins.
Mm-hmm.
You see how the winning comes after the obedience?
Mm-hmm.
Now, but the thing is that God has already gone before us because he said we have the victory.
Yes.
We have the victory. And so you just have to put your obedience to the test. Apply your obedience. Will you obey? Will you stay in position? Even when you don't want to, against all odds, even when you don't feel like it. So we are Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. It's a flow and not a show, where we fearlessly level up, overcome, and win. And we are in the year of big, bold power moves. I can define what that is for me. And I think my life story and my life's everything that I've endured and everything that I have experienced to date is it has been God's power moving, through me, and it speaks to big, bold power moves. But I have to always go back to, millions didn't make it, but I was the one who did. When my mother was having me, when you get fearful, when you get doubtful of your positioning and why you're here, just go to the fact that you have life and breath in your body. It could have been another, but it was you. And you're still here to tell the story. And so it's you. Tag your it. It's you. And the question is, what are you going to do about it? So we pray that you have been, we wanted to get on tonight and keep the flow going. We have some amazing guests still coming to Sister Talk Power Moves. And even those who are listening and viewing tonight, if you're interested in being a guest, we want to bring you to the front of the screen, right? We want to have you to come and join us on live and share. If it's your testimony, you can be in business, you can be in ministry, you can have a community doing work in the community. You can have a resource, but we are a platform that we want to open up for those who are and give voice to those who are doing positive things in the community, in business, in the marketplace, all of those good things. We do have a screening process, but of course, because we want everything to be in decency and in order as we are flowing. But we invite you to that process. We invite you to be a part of Sister to Sister, because we're shifting, we're flowing, we're shifting. But we're doing it with ease, because this is a time that we're moving. I don't know about UT, but the toiling days are over. I don't want to do anything when I'm toiling with it.
Absolutely.
I need to flow with the oil and not
absolutely that part. That part.
I want the oil and not the toil.
Yes.
And so that's where we are. But again, we pray that you've been blessed by the shift tonight, and that you would take time to think about, what is it that you need to do? What is the shift that you need to make in your life right now? Okay. What do you need to say yes to? What do you need to say no to in order to get to the yes? What plan needs to be put into place? What level of intentionality needs to be backed up, or you need to back up that plan with? How you need to focus, turn your fear into faith, and that's believe. And no matter what, because we're shifting what? Now. And the N is for no matter what. Remember that your obedience will cause you to win every time. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. That's the song, right? All we do is win, win, no matter what. Absolutely. I don't know about you, but this is a winning zone. Lady T, listen, that's all I have tonight. You have any closing words for the people tonight?
I just believe what God has for you. Believe what God has for you. He is not a God that he should lie. His promises are yes and amen. So if he gave it to you, I promise that anything that you need, the resources, the money, the tools, the connections will come. They will come. Believe in his promise. That's all I got.
It's wrapped up in your obedience. And guess what? That's all you got, and that's enough. My goodness. I need you to know that what you have is enough. So everybody, we thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm excited because all I do is win, because my posture is embedded in obedience. And I'm still learning, and I'm still growing, and I'm still elevating, and I'm still pulling back some layers. But I challenge myself every day to keep showing up, because I know that when I show up, I go up literally. And I am just excited to be, chosen. And I know that God has chosen you too, because we're here, right? And as I shared today in my training, is that we have to maximize every moment. Every moment. We have a responsibility to maximize every moment and be good stewards over the lives that we have been given. And so I just want to admonish you all to do that as we're closing out tonight. Of course, we are shifting, and we're going to go ahead and play our outro. Get up. We thank you all for joining us tonight for Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. If you like to sow a seed, you definitely are invited to do so. If you are blessed, you can also hey, wait a minute.
Get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power move. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power.
It's time to make your power move, y'all.
It's just the beginning. Now is your time. Stay focused, keep your chin up. You gotta keep a made up mind.
We welcome you to sow a seed that will exceed the need. But we welcome you to sponsor. We welcome you all. God is doing some amazing things, and we're just saying we appreciate you in advance. It's time for you to get up. God doesn't have you on pause. It's time for you to make some power move.
Get up.
Y'all be blessed. It's been another Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. Lady T.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you all.